Hey there, bestie. Hey, so I hope you're doing good today and you're ready to dive in because we're going to talk about a controversial topic. You know, a lot of people have been through narcissistic or toxic relationships, and I'm sure they were no fun and just horrible experiences. But you know, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Like, there's always something positive that can come out of every situation. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel. And so I want to dive into that. You know, what can you expect to get out of this negative situation that you've gone through or that you're going through right now? There is hope, and just know that in this channel we're going to go ahead and go over that and dive into it together. If you have any comments, questions, or if you've been through this, you just want to add to the conversation, feel free to comment down below, and also subscribe to my channel if you want to be able to have a community with best friends and be able to discuss everything openly, being a woman in today's society and just being a woman and, you know, what we go through throughout life. So I'm here for you, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. Let's get started. One of the biggest takeaways that you can get from being in a toxic relationship is personal growth. You grow so much because you learn so much about yourself. What are your boundaries? You know, what's important to you in a relationship? What's important to you with a partner? And you learn like through harsh moments because of, let's say, when the narcissist like hits below the belt and tells you something horrible, or they're really just like crossing the line, or just, you know, things that happen, like they shock you in your heart and you just can't believe that this person just did this, you know, or like if they cheat, or if they make you feel uncomfortable, if they put you down and try to make you feel lower than yourself, like you start feeling like what is too much, like what you cannot take. And so you start learning like, okay, you know, this is what I need in my partner, and this is definitely what I do not want in a partner. And you start putting that together and just really like realizing it, you know, like really, really good. And so that's one thing that is good that can come from it, right? You really start to understand your own boundaries and what's important to you in a good relationship. Like, what does a healthy relationship look like to you? You start to really, really know what are your, what's that term? It's like, I can't remember the term. It's something like, what is your, like, your deal breakers. Like, what are your deal breakers, right? Another thing too is you learn to understand your needs, right? So you learn to understand what do you need in somebody, what do you need to feel good in the relationship, and you also start learning to articulate that, you know, because you need to understand that you're valuable, okay? And no one can tell you that you're less than, because you're not. You're valuable, and you are that woman. You are that woman, and don't ever let anyone try to put you down or make you feel less, because you're not, okay? No one can take away power from you. God made you, and he made you perfect. So don't worry about anything. Like, yes, we all have our imperfections, but you know what I'm trying to say? Like, God made you out of love, and there's no way that anyone can come here and put you down. Like, no, don't let that get to you. Okay, remember your self-worth and remember who you are, and don't let go of that. Even if sometimes you feel like, okay, I'm down or whatever, like you're losing yourself from this relationship, or if you have felt that in the past, get back, make moves to get back to yourself, and you will. And that's part of it. Like, you'll start to learn, like, you'll get to a point, if you haven't gotten there already, or one of the things that's good from coming out of a toxic or narcissistic relationship is that you've gotten broken down so bad that then you start to want to get back to you again, you know? And you start thinking about what makes you you. What made you you before you got into this toxic or narcissistic relationship? What were things that you enjoyed, right? What were things that people would describe you as, right? What were your good traits? And you can get back to that, and then you just like learn to appreciate yourself and your value and what you bring. Personal growth is huge after a toxic and narcissistic relationship. Another form of this, another example, is when you go through something negative like that, you start to realize that not everyone is good, right? You come out of like this la dream world that you were in before. You start not being naive anymore. You start realizing, like, hold up, there really is bad people out here. There's people that really do just want to hurt me. There's people that want to lie to me and make me think I'm crazy. There's people that want to devalue me so that I can really just think bad about myself and not want to leave and think that no one else will want me or think I'm not worth something. There's people that want me to move away from my family so they can have full control over me. There's people that want to control my every move for bad reasons. And you start to realize all these things, that the world's not la la land and rainbows and bubbles. Like, it has some sick, evil, mean people in it. And you start to recognize that, and it makes you wiser, right? So you're wiser now, you know this is out there, and you start to research and learn all the traits about these people. What are the red flags for these people? That way, in the future, you can be aware and you can avoid that. Once you start seeing these signs, you're not gonna go into it again like you did before, you know? And so that's something positive that can come out of being in a toxic relationship. Another point to also remember and take in is that now you know that when you really, really see those red flags, when they start switching up on you, you cannot change that person. When they start showing you their true colors, you have realized you literally cannot change someone. Why? Because when you go through a toxic relationship, you try your hardest to change this person. You do everything that you can to try and help this person to change. You give it your all, more than your all, more than what they deserve. And at the end, they still are a-holes, okay? And so now that you've gone through all that, you know the harsh reality is you cannot change people. So you need to accept someone for who they are when they show you who they are, right? And so now you know this. So now, next time that someone starts switching up on you, you're gonna know, I'm gonna get out before I'm way too deep in it, right? You're not gonna make the same mistakes, right? You gotta make sure this is intentional too. You gotta remember this stuff so you don't fall back into the hole, because the hole is deep, the hole is ugly, the hole is scary. All right, you don't want to get back in there. It's hard to get out. And when you do, you are such a survivor for it. And you know, you have your wounds and your scars to show for it internally, right? But you've come out a stronger person and a smarter person. So now bring those smarts to your next phase of your life, all right? Don't fall for it. That dream that you have with this next person that you start falling for, you know, that fantasy that we all put together in our mind about how this could go or how good it's feeling or what could be the next steps, things like that, let it go once you see who they really are. Of course, if who they really are is bad, right? If they're good, then keep it going. Just want to make sure I clarify that. Okay, so yeah, so that's another point. That's another good thing. Another thing too is if you've ever had to get out of a toxic relationship where you were living with the person or married to the person, you become more financially independent and you learn how to depend on yourself, because you know, right? A lot of the times you're in a situation where you need to make sure that you're stable financially when you get out, and you have to wait. And you have to plan and you have to execute your plan, you know, and you have to put time and effort to be able to be stable, to be able to leave and be on your own. And so at the end, you come out a much more financially smart person and a financially independent person. And so, like, for example, you know, me, I've had to make sure and wait, feeling in anxiousness and like feeling down, going through everything that I've been going through with the toxic relationship, and make sure that I stay in it until I'm financially able to get out. So what does that mean for me? I'm learning how to manage my emotions, right? And you can learn to manage your emotions. Being in a toxic relationship and having to stay in it until you're financially stable makes you have to manage your emotions. And you also have to start maybe picking up new skills, you know, applying, making sure that you get a good paying job or multiple jobs, or trying to find side hustles that are good for you. You might start finding out about ways to open your own business, ways to invest and make money. You know, you start looking at all these different ways because you know that without these ways, you will not be able to leave. And so at the end of this, once you come out of it, or if you have already, I know that you've come out a much better person and much more smart with money. So that is another thing that is positive about coming out and being in a toxic relationship. Another point that is a good benefit from coming out of a toxic or narcissistic relationship, or even currently being in one, is self-therapy or even going to therapy, right? So let me put it this way. You got into this relationship and you stayed in this relationship because something is broken inside of you, right? I'm not a doctor or anything like that, but I've been watching a lot of videos and I've talked to therapists and things before. And you know, your childhood has a lot to do with who you are today. Experiences you've been through in the past have a lot to do with who you are today. What you will not accept, what you enjoy, what you don't enjoy, etc., etc., etc. And so the fact that you would stay in this relationship or even allow it to become a relationship and ignore the red flags and continue in your dream world, or continue trying to change someone that's treating you like crap, that means that there was something not good inside of you. Like, you went through something that allowed you to stay going through that. You need to figure out what that is. Or if you've gotten out of the relationship, you may have already looked into this and found out why. So being in a toxic relationship or a narcissistic relationship opens your eyes to finding out that something is wrong, that you need to fix, that allowed you to be in this situation, and it like basically sets the light bulb off in your head, right? And then you start seeking things out. Like, you might look it up on YouTube, you might look it up online, you might go to a therapist, right? And you start seeking help. And whether it's self-therapy by you watching or reading things, or an actual therapist, psychologist, you start finding out that you need to heal within. You need to heal certain things about yourself so that you can be stronger and no longer accept this kind of treatment. So by the time you come out of this whole situation, you come out again stronger. You've grown so much personally. And if it wasn't for this situation, you may have never realized that you needed this kind of help. You may have never healed from those situations, right? So I know me personally, I watched so many different YouTube videos about narcissists and just all the psychology behind it. And I learned so much about myself and also about narcissistic relationships, and just, it really made me take a look within myself. And I was able to do self-therapy to realize why I was accepting this and why I go for that kind of pattern in a partner, right? And so when you come out of this kind of relationship, you'll know these things about yourself. And these are all things you'll have in your toolbox. Another great thing about having gone through a toxic or narcissistic relationship is that now you have this experience. You have firsthand experience, and you can share that with your children, right? So you can share it with your children on 2 points of views. One, you can share with them how they need to treat their partner. You know, you can also try to do what you can so that they don't turn out to be a narcissistic person, right? Or a toxic person. You explain to them how they need to treat others, right? You teach them that. You teach them how to love, how to be emotionally smart, how to be smart, right? When it comes to different areas of their life and relationships, because relationships is a huge part of someone's life. And you can also teach them what not to accept, what to look for, what signs to watch out for. You can teach your children all of these things so that the cycle doesn't repeat itself, and also so that they can learn to be aware. And I know you don't want your children to go through the same kind of relationship you went through. And so the fact that you went through it, now you can talk openly with your children about it, and they will have a lot of a higher chance of avoiding being in that situation and avoiding turning out like that as well. You got to remember, like I said in the beginning, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. All right, never go down the rabbit hole of depression. Don't allow yourself. Your mind is extremely strong. What you think in your mind governs your body, okay? And if you're thinking in your mind that you're strong, you are valuable, you are smart, you're beautiful, you're a good mom, you're a good friend, you're a good family, you're a good partner, you're a good worker, you are healthy, you will heal from all of your situations that you've been through. You will heal from anything that's made you sad. You will heal from any obstacles that you've been through that have hurt you. You will heal from any sicknesses. Think that. Understand that that is real. Your mind is the software to your body. Your body is like a computer system. Your mind is the hardware for it. Sorry. Your mind is like the modem. It's like the brain. There we go. I said like every single word except for the one I was really wanting to say. So be positive, all right? Think good thoughts. Know that even when something's looking bad, there's always something good in your life going on. And remember that even though you've been scarred, that's just a sign of what you've been through. And there's so many good things that you can get from that. Don't let people tell you, oh, you're never going to heal from a narcissistic relationship. Oh, you know, you're always going to be depressed or always this and that. No, that's not true. Everyone can heal. Everyone can get better. You can move on. Okay. And there is good things to come. I want to leave you with the final thought. Always remember you're stronger than you think. And every challenge you face is an opportunity to grow and become a better version of yourself. Don't you forget that. And don't forget God's promise. There's always a rainbow at the end of the storm. So stay positive, stay strong. Write comments down below to let other people know what you've been through. How are you feeling now? Are you out on the other end? Are you still in the midst of it? Do you need help? Do you have questions? Like I told you, this is a community. We can all talk with each other in the comments. I'm here for you. Hope you enjoyed this video. So like and subscribe and share it with anyone that has been through a toxic or narcissistic relationship or someone that's currently in it so that they can learn everything that you have learned today. This is an important, sensitive topic that more people should be talking about. People are alone in these situations. Share this video with them so they can know that they're not alone. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining today. We will be back with more videos and more time to hit it up and chat it up together, okay? Much love. Bye.